Alrighty. Whole lot of bus staff going on today. Didn't get any video since Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. Whatever day I put up that one making them bin jack brackets. Because I worked overtime on Thursday, I worked overtime on Friday, and then I worked 12 hours yesterday. Next paycheck's gonna be awesome. And I'm working overtime all next week too. Well, I guess it'd be this week since Monday is tomorrow. But anyway, can't really do a whole lot today because we got a storm came through last night. I think we're actually fixing to get some more today by the looks of the clouds over there. But I have to get the brush hog fixed. Because I might have kind of screwed it up last time I used it by accident. Which, it wasn't completely my fault. Part of the problem is it's brush hog's fault for, well, I'll show you here in a minute. So I might have kind of bent the piss out of the 3-point yoke, because I was brush chopping down here by the ditch and I caught that corner on a stump. But this thing has always been a little bit of an issue because all they did was build the damn thing out of flat stock. So when you picked it up and were going down the road, that whole side was always flexing whenever you hit a bump or something. They should have built it out of box tube, which is probably what I'm going to do here now. So get it up to the shop and start working on it. Okay, well, you can tell that the yoke is pretty much schmucked. I could probably straighten it, but it would never be right. So it's going to be a whole lot easier and, well, won't necessarily be easier, but it'll be better just to make a new one. Now the picture of it is, the way they made this thing, I was hoping to be able to mill out that box tube so I could straddle this and get on both sides of it. Well, the way they got this made, that won't work because then the yoke won't lay back because of this angle iron. So what I have to do is cut a notch out of it, and then what I'll probably do is cut the tabs off of the bottom of that and weld in the box tube, because the box tube I'm using is only, I think that's what, 3/16 wall box tube. So that wouldn't be heavy enough to just whack it out and then just use this for a bearing surface. I'll have to weld some of that flat stock in there. But might as well salvage what I can out of the old hitch. So, and then the other thing I gotta do is these aren't quite long enough to make it all the way through, but the hole that these go in ends up right just underneath this bend. So what I can do is get my miter cut and everything done on the box tube, and then take those and stick them in the hole and pinch them down a little bit and weld the nut in there before I do all my final welding. So now what I gotta do uh, 14 and about 14 3/4 is what I need there. Yes, 14. So now my box tube cut. Except I'm going to need more room than that. Okay, I got the steel cut for the legs and for the angles. So before I go starting to cut any miters, I'm going to get holes punched in them. That way, when I go to make the right and left, I don't get anything screwed up. So we will come over here and set you guys here. Actually, I'm going to deburr these real quick. Okay, put you on the other side because I gotta put stop over here because I gotta work this piece all the way across. So I had to center it up in the vise. Now I need this little guy. Already zeroed off the back of the vise, so shouldn't have to do the end. Actually, I think if I remember right, I changed my zero off the back to Nope, it's more than that. There we go. Okay, now I'm zeroed up. And 30 seconds. Now, this is 2.5 inch box tube. So we need to come over 125. And this hole is an inch from the bottom, so we need to come in an inch. Actually, I want to turn that box tube too, so I'm not drilling on the seam. Okay, now that. And we will take a 1/2 inch hole for my pilot. Then come down there, man. Now, need that one. Going back drive. Oh, damn it. Another problem is that drill shank's got a little bit of a burr on it. Okay, now these have to be made a right and a left. Well, I'll get that in a second. First, I'll get this one done. My bad. Now, come down and punch the hole for the pin. Okay, there's the holes all punched. I did screw up a little bit though, because on this one I didn't want to punch that hole all the way through, but I caught myself on that one, so I'll just have to weld that shut. You'll never know it was there. So now I can go in and do my miter cuts. Okay, thanks to the joys of TV magic, all my pieces are cut out and all my machining is done. So all I should have to do is weld it together. Jigging it's going to be a little interesting, but it shouldn't be too bad. I already got everything all measured out here, so let's see if we can't figure out a way to set you fellers up so that you can kind of half-ass see what's going on here. Hopefully. Damn it, I moved it. I wish I had a piece of colored glass to go in front of that camera so it don't burn nothing, or don't take the risk of hurting it. But that thing's like 6, 7 years, yeah, it's not quite that old, probably 5, 6 years old now, so if I roach it, that's just an excuse to get a Hero 4. Sure it didn't move. Where'd did open up just a hair. Okie dokie. little bit more of a gap there than I originally thought. Put that tack on the inside, that way it tries to spring it open, because this one will try to spring it shut, so hopefully they'll counteract each other. Let go, you little prick. I gotta get all this tacked together. I can stick that piece on there. Okay, now this is going to be the fun part. So I got to figure out how spacer blocks. There. 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 And that will give me enough room to put this here. Put this here. Put that there. That goes there. Now, the bitch is going to be squaring that up to that, because there ain't a shitting thing on that that's straight enough. Yeah. Fun times. Alright, there it is, all welded together. And I was not stingy with the weld. I had her burning pretty hot. Some of it got a little ropey, but I wanted to make sure I had good penetration in there, so the bigger the gob, the better the job. And build-in strength down here, where I had to cut this out to go around the angles on the mower. I took some 1/2 inch or 2 by 1/2 flat stock and bent it to match the angle I cut out here and welded it in, so that when it's bending right here, it's actually trying to pull this whole side of the box tube down. Fun fact, to bend a piece of 1/2 inch by 2 inch flat stock, it takes exactly 30 tons of force. So I bent that in our brake down in the shop press. And then I got my nuts welded in there, and to give it a little bit more of a surface to act on, since this was only 3/16 box tube, I put 1/2 inch plate welded into the box tube, and then the nut welded to the back of the plate. And then when I got it all done, I thought to myself, dumbass, why didn't you just take a piece of 1 inch flat stock, drill it and tap it, and not screw with the nut? But it's in there now, so it'll work. And then this is the hole that the chain goes through. So right now it is too freaking hot to put on there. But I got plenty of mess to clean up here, so I'll get the shop cleaned up. And the one weird thing about this is, and I didn't change it because I didn't know if that like that for a reason or not, so I figured I'd keep the geometry the same as the hitch I took off. From there to there, or from the lower pinholes to the center link hole is not standard category. It's further than category 1 and category 2. Because category 1 from here to here should be 18 inches, and category 2 from here to here should be 19 inches. And this is like 21 inches on here. But like I say, I kept it the same because I didn't know if they had it like that for a reason, or if, since this is just a brush hog, cheap ass brush hog brand mower, if they just didn't care when they built it. But anywho, the other thing I did to build some strength into this box tube is I took a piece of 3/16 plate and welded in there to box this part in, because whenever you've got something open like this, well, actually just in general, if you're fabricating something and you ever have a chance to create a box, do it, because you will be surprised how much strength that adds into the whole thing when all you do is make a little box. So welded that in there. This was about a 1/8 inch gap, so I welded that shut. That was a little interesting, but it doesn't look too bad. So anyway, we're gonna let this cool down, and I'm gonna clean the shop up, and we'll get back to you when we get it back on the mower. Alright, there it is, all done and put on the mower. I'm not gonna paint it yet because I want to try it and see how much flex is in it. Because the astute of you will notice the old hitch has this flat bar right here going across the legs for support. And I didn't put that on here, and that was for a reason. That is because that right there. The problem with that old hitch was, anytime you were like, if I was backing off of a ledge and mowing down in a ditch or something, and I set the mower all the way down, the power takeoff would jam up into that cross to start eating on the spinner tube like that. So if I can get away with it, I'd like to leave all of this open in here to give more clearance for the power takeoff. And being all box tube now, it should have enough built-in strength to avoid twisting and all that crap that other one did. So, like I say, I want to try it and go from there. But it all went together just like I hoped it would. There should be enough, should be enough bearing surface back in here on these to keep it from pulling out. So, jammed a stick up in there. That's interesting. But like I say, all we can do is try it. I know it's way stouter than the original one was, I can tell you that much right now. I guess I'll hang it on the tractor real quick. Well, I can tell you right now it's way more stout than the original hitch, because before, if you jumped on it like that, all the flex was right down here in the bow of the hitch. Now that thing doesn't even freaking move. But only time and use will tell, and I'm not gonna go do any mowing today because it is way too damn hot. I'm sweating my ass off just working here in the shop. So, but anyway, I guess I don't know how many videos I'm gonna get up this week, because like I say, I'm working overtime all 5 days. It's actually kind of cool what they got me doing. They took me out of the plant because the research team had one of their guys has to go out to Iowa for a field day or something to that effect. So they my manager recommended me to him to go out to the field and help take notes in the research plots, which is really freaking cool. Unfortunately, I can't talk a whole lot about it because it's all Monsanto confidential stuff, but I am working in research plots for this week, which is really cool. The only downside is that means that I'm going into work at 6 o'clock, which means I gotta leave here at about quarter to 5, and I haven't been getting home until about 7 o'clock-ish. So Saturday or Friday we worked Friday we worked 12.5 hours. Yesterday we worked 12 hours. So I can only assume it's going to be 12 hours every day this week. But 12 hours a day gives me 4 hours of overtime every day, which gives me 20 hours of overtime, 20 hours overtime over the whole week, which on time and a half gives me a whole another week's paycheck in 1 week. Yeah, money. So, unfortunately, all the money's spent, because this week I gotta mail out a check to Co-op for $1,400 for urea, and I got my credit card to pay off, and then I gotta pay $1,200 and come the second week of August because I need to have my damn wisdom teeth taken out because they've been giving me trouble. So basically at this point I'm working my ass off just to keep my head above water, but after that should finally be able to start making money instead of spending it. Well, actually that's a lie, because after that I'm gonna bring the combines over here and start working on them. So, but actually shouldn't have to throw a whole lot of money at those. So, other than general maintenance, and I got to rebuild the power steering motor on the 7300 because it leaks. And there's something squeaking on the 525, so I got to figure out what the heck that is. But it shouldn't be anything stupid. I'm thinking I think I got a pretty good idea it's a carrier bearing on the bell housing, but I'm not 100% sure yet. So, anywho, I guess that does it for this little project, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.